I remember one auntie saying, what's the meaning of Saco? Saco looks like a demonic name.
Instagram is there. People are showing you things. Audio money, audio lifestyle.
You know, the period explains, you look as if Saco, they use jazz.
If I take Jesus, will I ball? Is there balling in Christ? Is there enjoyment in,
It's either you're in the secret place or you're in the secret court.
Come to the Mountains of Influence podcast. My name is Ayodele Okundalaiye. On this podcast, we dive deep into the insights, experiences, and wisdom of kingdom-minded professionals who have reached the pinnacle of success in their respective industries. We are going to be exploring the unique journeys of these trailblazers, learning how they've navigated their careers while staying true to their faith, and how they continue to make an impact for the kingdom in everything they do. So what is in it for you as the viewer or as the listener? Well, this means you have access to invaluable lessons on navigating your own careers with purpose, overcoming obstacles, and discovering how to integrate faith and excellence in your professional lives. Each episode, I promise you, will inspire you and equip you with practical tools to step into your place of influence and thrive in your journey towards kingdom impact. So on this note, I welcome you to Deployment to Domination. Today, I have the delectable, did I use that word for men? The amazing, the indefatigable, I don't even know which English to speak, Ayodele Okundalaiye, known as Saco, senior advocate of comedy, who is a highly regarded master of ceremony, compared with a dynamic personality and a strong sense of humor. Saco, he has built a reputation on delivering exceptional value to clients across various industries, making him the preferred MC for multinational companies, financial institutions, telecom giants, and non-profits, among others, both in Nigeria and internationally. Saco has hosted numerous prominent organizations and events, including MTN, KPMG, and the Redeemed Christian Church of God. And he has worked at over, wait for it, 3,000 social events worldwide. Like, my God, that is huge. His comedic style combines clean, family-friendly humor with professionalism, and he is known for his ability to adapt programs to suit different audiences. He is an alumnus of the Lagos Business School's Enterprise Development Center. Saco is also dedicated to nurturing the next generation of entertainment entrepreneurs through his strategic mentorship program, which has supported over and around 500 beneficiaries. He is married with 3 kids and values legacy building above all. Oh, wow. Welcome, Saco, to the Mountain.
Thank you so much for having me, Bibo.
How are you doing today?
Very well. I'd like to say that, do I need to apologize for doing this recording in the car? I had that impromptu meeting. I was hoping I was going to be at home at this time, but I had to just come out from another meeting to do this video. So first, somebody's wondering, is it I don't have a house? I have a house. But, I just had to just improvise.
I can imagine. Thank you so much for showing up. So let's just dive straight in. Let's go to the mountain, high altitude. First off, what does influence mean to you?
Influence is about motivating people, whether you know them or you don't know them. One way or the other, there are people that have influenced my life that I never met. I don't think I will meet them because some of them are already late. But I've read their books, I have seen their videos, and sharing their life and living an intentional life has influenced who I am today. Influence could be positive, influence could be negative. So for me, having great influence, having a positive influence is the best for me, and that's what it means. Influence is just, you know why you say influence, you influence my decision. So who have made a decision to do because of something that they listened to or what they saw. I learned a long time ago that three things that influences your life is what you see, the friends you keep, and what you listen to. So it has a way of influencing. So influence, yeah, that's just a summary of what my influence, what it.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And that was so, so profound. What you see, what you hear, and the friends that you keep have a lot of things to do with where, the kind of influence that you have over your life. And so that brings me to the next question. So I have read your bio. That's bio. But now my question to you is tell us about yourself and your mountain of influence. Who is Saco? What is his mountain of influence?
Okay, so I started. My name is Ayodele Okundalaiye. Saco is the name that I was inspired to coin for myself as a teenager when I realized I was going to do this as a compare. Oh, as a stand-up comedian, I didn't know I couldn't call it a compare. I just started as a comedian. Anywhere they have events, I would go. And then I remember writing my name. I remember sitting down and I said to myself, what do I want people to call me? I wonder, my first name is Sunday, by the way. And I said, do I want people to call me Sonny Baba or Baba or Sunday the comic? And then that's why education is very, very important, whether formal or informal. It is very important. And then I remember sitting down in my room, in my mother's room, not my room, in my mother's room where I stay with my other siblings. We all have our space in that room, you know. And then I wrote down my names. I'm from Ondo State. My mother is from Delta State, Ibuzo. And so I have an Igbo name, I have a Yoruba name, and I wrote down my names. Sunday, Ayodele, Chukwukamadu, Okundalaiye, and that's how I got the name Saco. I remember, I think I was 17, 18 then when I wrote the note. I grew up in a polygamous family, so that covered all my names, and at the beginning you don't be asking, "Ooh, do you want to start writing all the names everywhere?" But I remember writing my name in our staircase, as you're coming down from my father's house like this, flat like this, you are seeing my name, Saku. I was writing my name on the wall. I didn't know what it meant then. But I think with time, I began to say, I think I was inspired by the Holy Spirit because it took a lot of confidence to write my name, Saco. In fact, I remember one auntie saying, what's the meaning of Saco? Saco looks like a demonic name. But it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me at all because I knew that it was my initials. So I can explain it at anywhere. And I saw myself as a teenager going into, adulthood, that if food or when people ask me, how did I get my name, I can explain to them how I did. So this interview that I'm doing today, I had seen it long ago to explain how I got the name. I didn't know I was going to go to this place, but I knew that this job was going to do something. Sincerely, so I can't begin to say, oh, I did this. Comedy came as a gift because that's not what I wanted to do. I used to be in the choir. I used to, sing. We used to do mass fire, do dance camp. We used to go for competition. So I thought I was going to do music until comedy came, and then it began to open doors gradually. The days of 5,000, the days of 3,000, the days of 4,000 Ganotoi, the days, and gradually I got my first 5,000 naira. I want to say $5,000. I got my first 5,000 naira on the 1st of October 2005 at the University of Ilori. I mean, at Choir Hotels. That's why I got my 5,000 naira as a stand-up comedian. And I said to myself, this job will take me far. And since then, I've not looked back. For a long time, I was on for 5,000 naira doing fat. If whether you pay me or you didn't pay me, the satisfaction that I get is that when I host an event or I do comedy, the feedback for me was my payments. But now I know the value that I'm bringing value. So if I'm practicing a joke or I'm doing something, there needs to be compensation. There needs to be, money is called the exchange of value. So if you want to make money, what value are you going to put? Exchange. Are you ready to be in exchange of value? So, but I think one of the mountain of stress that, that changed my life is mentorship. Mentorship changed my life, changing me. What should have taken me 10 years to accomplish when I entangled or I got, you know, got engaged into mentorship. First, I didn't even see the essence of mentorship. For like 4 years, I was working with my first boss that moved my name from Saco to the senior advocate of comedy. I worked with him from like 2004, 2005 to like 2008. He moved my name to Saco to student advocate of comedy back with school. I was just standing in for him. I didn't know it was mentorship. I was just standing in for a senior colleague. Until I realized that standing in for a senior colleague got me better. Because for you to become a professional in anything that you are doing, you should have done it over 10,000 hours. The Malcolm Gladwell rule of, yes, for you to become a professional, I should have done it. So all the while I was doing, standing in and I thought I was doing for free,
I can't. Your hour was
I was
time.
building, I was working on myself.
Podium time.
Yes. So, so the opportunity came when I had to work with my first mentor, the first role model I ever saw hosting an event called Only Malam, and then 2008 just met again. After I've been following him up since 2004, but he didn't give me response, but I was following him back to back until I saw him that day, May 29th in Unilag, and I went to meet with my sister. I've been following him for almost 4 years now, and I really, really like to work with you. And then he got my number. I didn't have a car there, 2008. He gave me a ride. He was driving a Sienna then, and I remember sitting behind, and then he was listening. And he started asking me for a song from Unilag. He dropped me in K2, and he sold 2 gates, and he gave me 1,000 there. Without even me asking, you know. And I was surprised that I started following it to event, what edge observing him. uh, And I think observing him from 2008 to 2012, 2016, yes, 2 dates. He currently lives in Chicago. I was in Chicago in July, and I saw it. We're together on the same platform. It changed my life. Mentorship changed my life. I met a man called Reverend Samadeyemi also. When I began to listen to him, I saw the simplicity in his message. I saw the result that he carried. And I said to myself, you don't have to make noise to have results. You just need to focus on your assignment. So I knew that there were a lot of comedians, but I said to myself, what do I want people to know me as? I'm a system and I cannot be apologetic about it. So the kind of jokes I was doing was clean. You can't catch me do the raw joke or anything. Um, I knew from the beginning, if I work with the likes of Willie Malam and then do those kind of jokes. So he was very, very picky. When I first started working with him, I had some odd jokes, and then he began to teach me or say, this one will not work, this one will not work. And today, when I have my Portuguese cracked some jokes, I said, that joke was beautiful, but please inside this kind of in this kind of environment, be careful. And then I'm not exaggerating, I have over thousands Portuguese scattered all over the world by the grace of God. Some of them I've met, some of them we've spoken. I have a tribe called the Trailblazers where I teach daily. I teach monthly, weekly I drop podcasts for them personally, on how to be an effective compares, how to manage money. Because if you don't manage, it's okay to have talents, but if you do not take hold of the money that comes in as a talent, the person will be broke. I've seen results so many times. I've seen blessings come through my account. I built my family through being a compare. I've gone on vacation being through a compare. I've had my children outside the country. It's not an accomplishment, but I'm saying to you of the things I've gotten as a compare. And God has helped me to multiply it. I've launched 2 books now to become an effective compare. The last one I did in November was Secrets Entertainer Won't Share with You. And it's out. I've been getting feedback. So I think I'll just stop here so that to do by
That was amazing. That was loaded with so much value. And I believe that anyone that, hears that story would understand that, look, because, it's one thing for me to read your profile right now and it's all nice and glossy. But where are you coming from? Which is very, very relatable to most people for them to understand, like, look, there is always the beginning of the journey and you just have to trust the process. So based on the, story that you have just shared with us now, I'm curious, what is your Jesus experience? Where is Jesus in all of this? You mentioned something like, I'm a Christian, I can't do this, I can't do that. So what is your Jesus experience?
There were times in my life, especially so for the Jesus experience, the Bible says it only leads us with benefit. I've seen God show up, especially Jesus show up for me, at events that I never imagined. I've seen myself on platforms that I never get recommendation from somebody. There are times where Jesus himself or God himself will tell me, teach on this, this topic. I was in Dubai one time and he said, when you get back to Nigeria, start teaching people on how to be an effective compare for free. And I didn't bother because I love to had the experience mentorship. So that was not and then he says, go back to Nigeria, start to do or not to become an effective comedian. And I started doing it. I started recording it. And since then, through that platform, I have even brought in people to knowing Jesus because when people see the result and see that I'm not everywhere, but I'm seeing result. I remember one of the protege, a Muslim, will follow me to church because he cannot deny the result.
Deny the results.
And then when he sees my daily routine, we travel together, I pray together. When I'm praying, he prays with me. If he wants to pray his prayer, he prays it. If he wakes up in the morning, he prays. You can't influence, because you can't pretend. I tell people, I don't have to do any incision to get results. When you are connected and you know that Jesus is the only way, you don't need to convince people. People want results. People they want results and they want to find out how you get this result. They want to find out how I get jobs, not only weekends. I work Mondays, I work Tuesdays, and some people have not worked like that for months. And the thing is about comedy. I've seen people, I was in Canada in 2019 for 7 days for vacation. And then few months after, I was in France. One of the guy that could not explain what I was doing, I went to host an event, I went to host a wedding. He had to put it in a comedy group and said, what is this guy doing that is different
from what we are doing?
They said, you look as if Saco, they use jazz. And I said, I know they use jazz.
That's the Jesus effect.
Is it Jesus? I've had Dr. Lumide Emmanuel says, if you're not in the secret place, you see that you're in the secret place or you're in the secret court. Simple. So that the place of secret place, and guess what? It's not even about, I'm knowing Jesus for myself, I'm knowing Jesus to let my children know that everything that I've gotten so far is by the mercy of God. And so, have I fallen? Oh, yes, I have. Have I made mistakes? Oh, yes, I have. Have I got into trouble? Yes, I have. So, but every time I get to that place, in as much as I have mentors beyond only Malam, I have pastors that I'm accountable to. I have people, that God has put in my circle. Guess what? Even my proteges that I now started mentoring now became my accountability partner. When I say, you know what, I have this, I'm running by you. I want you guys to pray for me about this thing. I want you guys to join hands and believe God for me. So they know, so the Jesus experience is all the time. Sometimes I get some inspiration while meditating and I share with my wife and say, babe, I'm going to do this. I currently live in Canada. When I came here 2 years ago, it says there's no activity yet. Start something. I did the first edition, used my money, the second edition. I did the one this year. We had over 500, never been done before. And it keeps getting better. Next year, we're expanding to other provinces. And God has been showing up.
Amazing. Amazing. Wow. 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 That's an amazing Jesus testimony, an amazing Jesus experience. And that's the purpose of this podcast, to make everyone out there look, if you're a professional and you are dilly-dallying between whether you should show up as a kingdom-minded Christian or you should not, you should hide your identity. This is the testimony that tells you that if you stick with Jesus, it will open doors for you where there seems to be no way. And that is just amazing. So, I want us to dive deeper. Now we know where you're coming from. We know how far, you have walked with the Lord and how far He has gotten you on this mountain of influence. So I'm just curious, who are your forerunners, on this mountain of, so let's say, I think we'll call your mountain entertainment. You're on the mountain of entertainment, isn't it? So on this mountain of entertainment, who are your forerunners? Like, who are those that have gone before you that, that you can say, yes, these are the principles that they modeled in the body of Christ. Is there anyone like in the ancient kingdom, role models, or on the earth realm, or in the Bible, who is there someone in the Bible that you can say, yes, this is like, like someone that did what you are doing, or someone on earth, or that used to live on earth. You mentioned something about mentors that are still living and those that are gone, like, so, just to give people a sense of, look, it's like more like there's nothing new under the sun, but at the end of the day, there are usually forerunners that you can take cues from, that there are usually people that you can learn from, to say that, yes, I am modeling after this person, because Paul said it, be imitators of me as I am an imitator of Christ. So, so that's just like to give you context of the question, like, who are your forerunners on this mountain of influence?
Okay, so one of the people that I refer to in the Bible is Daniel. Daniel chapter 1 verse 8 talked about Daniel proposing his heart that he would not eat the king's meat. So, himself, I will take from the portion that I'm sure if you read it from Daniel chapter 1 verse 8, it talked about how he proposed in his heart. So first, I proposed in my heart from the beginning what I wanted, that I was no way I was going to be influenced to doing things that will not bring glory to God. All right. In as much as we are Christians, we are sent to the marketplace. The marketplace, you don't have to shout. When I started, I used to call myself as a gospel comedian. I used to refer myself with I'm a gospel. But I said to myself, I don't need to add gospel. Gospel means good news. When people have an encounter with you, they will know that there's something different.
Yeah, good news.
Good news. When you host an event, when they see the passion that you put in it, you don't have to shout. When people are fighting against it, and let me put it out there. The fact that you're a Christian doesn't mean that you will not have people that will antagonize you. I remember a few 2 years ago or last year, January, I was going to host an event, and this lady, it was her husband's birthday, but the lady wasn't giving me attention. I was trying to find out some questions from her, but she wasn't giving me. I didn't just for myself. It was later I found out that the man insisted that it was me, but she didn't want me because she said I was a comedian and she wasn't sure I was going to be the event. I didn't know that I was going to be, how they say, let's see what he's going to do. And God glorified himself at that event. Few days after, I received a voice note from the woman. And this time she was appreciating me. I didn't even know that she was my classmate at the Lagos Business School Enterprise Development Center. I didn't know because we're much. And she said, you did exceptionally. You didn't insult anyone. Now I know that the school that you went to, it was worth it, that you're a Christian. You really represented what they stand for. In fact, I listened to that voice and I said, so people see it. People watch you. So I mentioned in the forerunners, people that I saw doing the job. I saw the likes of Jedi, my big boss. I saw the likes of Oni Malam. I saw the likes of MC Mark. I saw the likes of Teddy Face hosting events, and I saw them, and I said, people are doing exception. And I got mentors that Alibaba do the job. There are people in the industry that might not, that you in the do impossible things, and then you say to yourself, it is who can do it with the value system that you carry, you can take it to the next level. And I tell you the truth, the feedback I've gotten so far is we know that when Saco anchors an event, we can be relaxed, because that's hear comedians and they are on the edge and say, we don't know what he's going to say. But even up to the music that I listen to in my car, you can't stay around me and use the word. You can't use the word. You can't use the word F word. You can't even try it. I'll correct you and say, instead of using that F word, you can use measure. Please don't try because I am careful what I listen to. You will never have imagined some kind of thing that will come out from your mouth because of the influence you have around you. So I've seen Daniel in the Bible, I've seen Joseph, you know. Um, and one thing about Daniel did not only serve one prime minister. He served about
Several, yeah, yeah.
was it about APC party, about PDP party. He was consistent. He was full of excellence, and that's what we're working on. Excellence is a journey, like Reverend Sam would say. I've seen. I thought I did some piece few years ago that I did that was exceptional, but the kids get better and better and better. Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow, wow, wow. That was beautiful. So, no, and I think you've touched on it a little bit, but like how do we, practicalize this in contemporary bring this home to contemporary relevance? You understand? Like, yes, we've looked at Daniel, we've looked at Oli Malam, and then we were looking at you. Like, but in this contemporary relevance in the year 2024, where Instagram is there. People are showing you things, audio money, audio lifestyle, all of those things. And, young people are like, if I take Jesus, will I ball? Is there balling in Christ? Is there enjoyment in, so, how do we bring it home, to make it have contemporary relevance and, the day to day, like, how do we apply these things? Like, I will not defile myself with the king's mate. What does that actually mean, on a day-to-day basis for the Christian professional out there? Your colleagues are doing things and it feels like, maybe I should join them so that they will not think I'm the saddest or I'm the one that wants to spoil. How do you, because, for me, I know like when I step into places like light has come, I just light up the room, which is what you were saying. Like, you don't need to say you're a Christian before they can feel the presence of God, before they can feel the joy that you bring, So like, but how do we bring all of that? How do we bring it to bear? Like, how can we touch it? How can people touch it to actually have that reality of, look, it's actually, possible to not defile yourself with a portion of the king's mate?
I think one of the best ways for you to define what it means to live the life and say you live a Christ life is to have results. Is when there's results in your life. And how do you get results? When you stay in the face of God and He speaks and you follow God's assignment, you begin. It's a process. Excellence is a journey. Success, everything. There's no overnight success. Nobody gets to the top. Somebody brings you to the top, and then you can't just jump up and stay up. You have to climb up. For people that have worked with me, I share the vision with them and I said, look at my life. Even if you don't believe, see my life, hear my own story. The advantage that you have working with me is that what it took me 10 years to achieve, if you observe and follow the process and follow me as I follow Christ, in less than 2 years or 3 years, you'll get it. That's what I said to them. Because people that knew me, but they're still freaking it. I was talking to somebody and I realized that some people fake and make a perception about what they are not, And I said, I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. By the grace of God, I have good results. I mean, tangible results to say that I have enjoyed the faithfulness of God. And guys, you don't get me wrong. Even people in the secular world has gotten that same result, but they've gotten it with almost struggle. But in that place of, I know the place, I know the assignment that God has sent me to, I've gotten these things to inspire others to say, you see this house I got, the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one. I got it through this job without no struggle. It's a place of staying in the presence of God. And they want you to see your results. See how you live your life easy. It's not a life of, oh, I also pretend that I'm a Christian. You don't have to pretend, because if you pretend, the results will come out. Okay? So it's press. I say to people that I'm willing to, it's study. Study. Don't be like, oh, I will just guess. Study. Study the Bible. Listen to podcasts that will inspire you. My children know this. My children know that everything that I watch online, that helps me to get better. When I'm studying, they know that they can't come around me, because if I don't study, I will not get better. I need to study as a father, study as a husband, study as a mentor, study as a protege, study as a child to a father and mother, because I need to know, study to relate with my siblings. Recently I made some decision about I have 8 siblings. Yes, 4 from my mother's side, and then 5 from my father's side. But at least so far we are 8, the ones that I know. Because my father was still active in service, he's still active, hallelujah. And then I made a miss. I made out of I heard about something, and then I reacted wrongly, and I said to him, you know how you react, and you just say to yourself, no, what you just did now was not right. And I began to ask questions, and I had to start apologizing to them. I said, as the elder brother, I'm sorry I did this. I'm sorry I didn't plan. I didn't insult anybody. But instead of me to address the issue, I address the person. All right. So I am also working on myself. So I haven't gotten to that place to say, oh, I've got it. But I've learned that you have to be calm, show results. When I say show results, I don't mean you should start carrying results and say, this is my result. When people see you from afar, they'll say, oh, now let me make this. One time I went to an event. You'll be doing your event, you're not struggling with anybody, or people will hear about your results. You know how the woman in the Bible had to go look for King Solomon. I said, I heard about you. I see people also that cook, in the secular world, when you think, oh, I'm not doing well, I'm not doing better, I think I just need to swap and enter the secular world. I see people that move from being a gospel artist to become secular. Some of them excel, but you see that fulfillment. There's a place of fulfillment or the place of God in your life. And so I went to this event and I greeted this guy that I've always admired from afar, because that's talented people. The way I greeted him, he just say hello. But as soon as I mentioned my name, I said my name is Saco. It was different. I've never met him before. I've only seen him on TV. As I mentioned my name, he said, now you be the Saco when they talk about? Wow. And he greeted me and we soon number. And I said to myself, we can be in that place where you do your stuff and your news will be spread. Okay? Be in that place, study. Check. In fact, Google has helped you. Check for exceptional young people in the Bible and you see what they did. It was sacrifice. Joseph said to himself, when Potiphar wanted to, he said, I will not do this against my knee. It was easy. He would have been promoted but eventually it happened. In spite of the lie and everything, they've lied on me, they've done different things. But I've seen Jesus show up because God saw my mind. I saw that you can't lie on this guy. So there's a place of study. There is no overnight success. Choose a mentor that is secured enough. Because it's not all mentors. Even in church, it's not all mentors that are secure.
For your mentor become your tormentor.
And that's why a lady was liking me and they would like to hang out with me. I tell you the truth, not all leaders are secure. They are tormentors, they are mentors.
Some people have been giving their life to Christ and collecting it back.
People's destinies are connected to yours.
This Christianity journey is going to be lonely.
Even if I don't have a congregation that I preach to every Sunday, I have a congregation that I live with every day. Not every opportunity is an opportunity.
And the essence of leadership is to raise other leaders.